truthers, welcome back. So on this episode, I want to share a quote that I came across that just made me just be like, wow, because I never looked at it from this perspective. This quote is by Elizabeth Gilbert. People think a soulmate is your perfect fit, and that's what everyone wants. But a true soulmate is a mirror, the person who shows you everything that is holding you back, the person who brings you to your own attention so you can change your life. A true soulmate is probably the most important person you'll ever meet because they tear down your walls and smack you awake. But to live with a soulmate forever? Nah, too painful. Soulmates come into your life just to reveal another layer of yourself to you and then leave. A soulmate's purpose is to shake you up, tear apart your ego a little bit, show you your obstacles and addictions, break your heart open so new light can get in, and make you so desperate and out of control that you have to transform your life, then introduce you to your spiritual master. That was juicy. That was interesting. I hear a lot of talk about soulmates, and there's so many different perspectives, I feel, on what the word means to people. And I like to ask you, what is a soulmate to you? How do you define a soulmate? Do you feel we only have one soulmate in this life? Or do you feel we have multiple soulmates? Just think on that for a little bit. From my perspective, I feel we have multiple soulmates, and I feel they come for different reasons and different seasons. I feel that, some stay for just a chapter in our lives. Others stay for a couple books, maybe a couple years and then they leave. Some may stay for a few months. Hell, you may meet a person and they're gone in a week, right? But I feel like they all have a bigger purpose. And they come and go, and you'll have some that literally come and teach us a lesson like this poem is saying, and then they leave. And it's like, once, the lesson was taught, whether you received it or not, they gave you the lesson, however they brought it to you. And then it's their time to go because their role in your life has been played, And if you don't get it from that person, don't worry. A new cast will show up. A new person will appear, And who knows, you may fall in love all over again. And then the lesson will come and, like I said, smack you the fuck awake. And it's interesting because I feel like that's one of the reasons why people associate love with pain. They associate the heartache. They associate the struggle and whatever they had to go through as, a consequence or a direct attachment to love. When in reality, you had to go through that to basically ascend, to grow, to blossom, to become a better you, right? You needed that lesson to pull you out of your comfort zone so that you can expand. I love the part of the quote that talks about breaking open your heart, because a lot of times I feel like most of us go through life with a closed heart, especially if we've gone through some shit through childhood or through our teenage years or, just through different relationships. I feel we begin to close our hearts some. We put up those walls and those barriers, right? Or maybe we walk around with certain beliefs and things that we store within our heart, and somebody comes in and busts it open so that you can receive more, so that you can get rid of what no longer serves you, so you can get rid of what has been weighing your heart down. And it's not the most beautiful feeling, but it's necessary. And it makes you think about that saying, no pain, no gain. And I know a lot of people say that when it comes to like working out and, just physical activity to the body. But it makes me think about that. And I guess because a lot of people learn from pain. A lot of times the lessons are painful, but it's like one of the ways that it finally clicks for people, as opposed to it being all sweet and full of pleasure. You know what I mean? So I just had to share this because I was like, wow, this is definitely a different spin on, a soulmate. Because a lot of people associate soulmates with like love and, oh, this is my life partner, the person I've been looking for all my life. I finally found the one. And, they say it's just that one soulmate. And then I've heard people say, no, we have more than one soulmate. And, and I don't feel like it's right or wrong, either one of them. I feel like both can meet you at the same time. And I feel like it all depends on the way people view the word itself and the way they view love and relationships. It's just kind of like the twin flame ideal, which I won't really even get into because I don't really subscribe to that. Yeah, we're not going to get into it. So, as far as soulmates go, how do you feel about this quote? Do you agree with what it says? Do you feel like those people that you may consider a soulmate has a more intense relationship vibe? Do you feel like you have received the most important lessons from those you may have considered the one or considered to be a soulmate for you? And if you feel like you have already encountered your soulmate, then do you feel like they're the one that got away? Do you feel like there is somebody else out there for you? Or do you feel like, that was your soulmate and that was just that person and there's somebody else that could hold that title in this lifetime? I'm just curious. Like, I have a lot of questions about this. I like to pick people's brains and see how they feel and what they think and just see their perspective as opposed to mine, right? Because it's interesting, especially when it comes to topics of love. It's interesting to see or to listen and to feel out the matters of the heart, right? And you get to get a perspective of where everybody's heart is. Like, is their heart open? Is their heart closed? Is their heart full of heart walls? Is it like a barrier there? Do they have a fort there? Is it like super guarded? Like they got a whole security system? Or is their heart open? Is it free? Is it light as a feather? Or is it heavy as fuck? And you just kind of see those who live from their heart as opposed to those who live from their head. And you can see the conflict within as well as you listen to people talk and what they say. So it's really interesting to me. And I just wanted to share that. I don't really have a long recording or episode for y'all today. I was just like, damn, this poem is, I called it a poem. This quote is dope as fuck. And I think my listeners would like to be put onto it. Like I said, it's by Elizabeth Gilbert. And I'll read it one last time. People think a soulmate is your perfect fit, and that's what everyone wants. But a true soulmate is a mirror. The person who shows you everything that is holding you back. The person who brings you to your own attention so you can change your life. A true soulmate is probably the most important person you'll ever meet because they tear down your walls and smack you awake. But to live with a soulmate forever? Nah, too painful. Soulmates come into your life just to reveal another layer of yourself to you and then leave. A soulmate's purpose is to shake you up, tear apart your ego a little bit, show you your obstacles and addictions, break your heart open so new light can get in, and make you so desperate and out of control that you have to transform your life, then introduce you to your spiritual master. The part that also stands out for me is they are a mirror. I feel like a lot of people that we come across are mirrors, right? We're all reflections of each other. But I get it, though, when you're in a relationship, that mirror is huge as fuck, right? And it's like they are really showing you. And I even have come across that in my own relationship because I hadn't been in a relationship for a minute. And then when I got into this one, I was like, wow, like all my shit started coming up, like my insecurities about money, about myself, like just different things started to appear, and be like, I've been knocking for a little bit, but you've been ignoring me. You can't ignore me now because I'm staring at you right in the face, and your partner came to trigger the fuck out of you so that you can grow, so that you can heal, so you can release all this shit and let it the fuck go. And it can be intense sometimes because you gotta realize that like your partner is not the enemy. They're just showing you parts of you that may have been hiding, or may have been suppressed, or you may have been ignoring, right? They didn't want to face, so you just closed the door to the closet and threw away the key. And they came like, it's time to fucking grow. And the beauty of it is that after they finish watering you, because I feel like that's what that is. I feel like when you're triggered, it's a part of being watered, because at the end of the watering, at the end of you sorting through your triggers and deciding, because it is a choice, deciding to heal, you have bloomed into a whole different flower, right? And it's like that moment that you're triggered, your partner or whoever is doing the triggering is basically fertilizing your soil, but we don't see it that way, right? We see it as them getting on our nerves or being irritating, or like the enemy, right? Okay, now this person not throwing for me anymore. Oh, now we not compatible, or whatever excuse we'll put, right? And then sometimes you really aren't compatible with people, and I get that too. But it's like, man, instead of asking ourselves, okay, what is this person coming to teach me? Like, what did they come into my life for? Like, why are they here? What are they showing me? What parts of me is being revealed through them? Like, what am I seeing in the mirror? What are they bringing up? Why the fuck am I so uncomfortable? Why did that just make me upset? Like, you know what I mean? And instead of pointing blame, like, oh, you did this and you made me feel this way and this, that, and the third, instead of projecting our feelings and emotions onto them, it's like, wait, hold on. Let me see. Why am I feeling like this? What wound did they just take the Band-Aid off and pour salt into? And why the fuck is it making me feel this way, right? What emotion is coming up right now? What is my body feeling? Am I back in fight or flight mode? Did this person just trigger me and send me into survival mode? Is this like sending me back into a way I felt when I was younger? And so now they become the enemy because I don't like how I'm feeling right now, but I never really dealt with it. So I got to get rid of it somehow. So I'm going to place it all on them. And we going to argue, right? But I'm still not going to unpack my shit. Right? So it's like continuing to carry around the baggage until you really just decide like, yo, enough is enough. And at this point in your life, have you made that decision? When do you decide enough is enough? How many bags do you allow to build up? How many different suitcases are you dragging behind you? Right? It reminds me of that picture, right? And I know y'all have all seen this picture of this black woman on the internet, on the meme, right? And they make one like every year. And she's like stepping into a new year. She got all her bags behind her and she letting them go. And she's like stepping into new energy, right? So if that was you in the meme, right? And you had all the bags behind you that you was letting go of, what would be in those bags? What word would be there? What would you be letting go of? And be honest with yourself. Who comes up? What person, place, thing? What is it? Traditions, beliefs, thoughts, patterns, habits. Shit, it could be food. Like, what do you need to let go of that's been dragging you back? And if you're still holding on to it, why? Is it just comfortable? Is it easy to hold on to? Is it what you're used to? Your familiars, right? They often say it's easier to hold on to a familiar pain than it is to open up to the unknown, right? It's easy because it's like, well, I'm used to this. I already know how this is going to go. I know this hurts, but it is what it is. Like, it's comfortable here, even though I'm uncomfortable, but it's comfortable because it's not new, because I don't have to step outside my comfort zone. I don't have to stretch or expand myself. I'm just in the shitstorm, but it's comfortable even though I'm uncomfortable, right? It's like, what? Instead of embracing the unknown and being fully fucking naked and vulnerable and not knowing what's going to happen next, and just like purely putting yourself out there open. And you might be naked and afraid, and that's okay. It's like that saying, feel the fear and do it anyway, right? So it's like, man, in those moments that you face yourself, that basically that mirror, that person is coming in as a mirror and showing you, how do you respond? How do you react? How do you show up? And are you aware in those moments that that is actually what's happening? And do you feel like a person could truly be a perfect fit? Does that exist? Is somebody truly a perfect fit for you? Are we all just walking around as puzzle pieces waiting for that person to fit our piece? Is there such thing as that? It's an interesting question. Do you feel like in that instance, because if you think about a puzzle piece, most of the times they have multiple parts or openings where a piece can fit, right? So do you feel like there's multiple people that can fit your puzzle piece? I know I'm not talking about like poly, for instance, but if that's where you want to take it, cool. But I mean, do you feel like one person can really just fit your puzzle piece and that's it? Is it fair to place all of what you truly desire on one person and say, this is what I desire from you and you got to fulfill this? Is that fair? Or is it okay for you to have a partner but also have friends too, and it could be of either sex, right, that also fulfills those needs? What if your partner falls short on one aspect, right? Then, is it okay for you to have a friend or two or a few that may pick up where your partner doesn't? So let me, I guess, do a little clarifying with that, because I don't know, people are like, oh, are you talking about cheating? Are you talking about having multiple partners? If that's what works for you, by all means, go for it. I don't have anything against that. But what I mean is, I feel like when we have friends, we have partners, we have the one we love, right? Whatever title you want to give. I feel like there are multiple people who come into our lives, kind of like what this quote is saying, for different reasons, right? So you may have somebody that comes into your life that you could basically talk to about any and everything, right? They allow you to stimulate your mind. They allow you to express, to be free, to be open. And it's just that person that you can connect with on that level, right? And you have another person that may come into your life and you're like, oh man, I can go on adventures, I could travel with them, or I can be silly, I could be goofy with them, oh, this is my dance partner. Or you may have somebody that comes into your life that sparks the fuck out of your creativity, right? And so these people, they come and they go and they bring something, they add something to your life. And it's not to say that the person that you're with is not good enough for that or they can't do that. But it's just, I feel like we need human connection, right? We need to mingle and interact with different people, different souls, different opinions, different thoughts, right? Because if we're always with the same people that are just like us, I feel like that kind of gets dull. It gets boring. It gets like, there's no expansion. There's no growth. There's nobody challenging you. So I feel like I kind of rambled a little bit in that part, but I hope y'all understand what I was attempting to ask or to just place out there, because I don't know, it's just kind of the way I see it. Like, I just feel like the world is a huge ass melting pot, and we are meant to mingle with different people. And those people that come into our lives are meant to be there in the time and seasons that they come for, whatever the reason may be, right? So, I don't know. How many mirrors would you say you currently have in your life right now? And do you see yourself in other people? Do you see the way that they are reflecting you? And the things that you don't like about others, do you see that within yourself? Because a lot of times the things that we cast judgment on other people about are things that we don't like within ourselves or we kind of suppress, right? And it irritates us so much in other people because it's really a part of ourselves, that we either don't like or haven't acknowledged. So, yeah, I kind of lost track of my thought for a minute in talking. But how many mirrors would you say you have in your life right now. And when you look into each of them, what do you see? What part of you is being exposed? Do you have a lot of friends, or do you just have a couple? And do you feel like everybody is truly your mirror, or only certain people are? Do you feel like having a big ass group of friends is beneficial, or a smaller circle is more beneficial? I feel like it's different for everybody, but I'm just curious. These are just questions that are coming to my head that I'm just throwing out there, in the moment as I'm just allowing myself to freely speak. I feel like this quote really made me think about some of my past relationships or dealings with people, and they have been intense. And when I think about the most intense ones, right, it's like, damn, okay, I really did learn something. Yeah, they did smack me the fuck awake. Yeah, they did show me some shit that I was neglecting in myself. They did show me how I was abusing myself. They did show me how I was being disrespectful to self. They did show me how I wasn't showing up for me. Yeah, they did show me how I wasn't tapping into my creativity. They did show me how I was putting myself last and not honoring my thoughts, my needs, my wants, my desires, not really honoring my heart. They showed me all of that. They showed me how I was not being the healthiest me that I could be. They showed me how my stubbornness was holding me back. They showed me how my fixed mindset was getting in the way. They showed me how my procrastination was just, me being afraid in a sense. They showed me what it meant when my anxiety appeared. They showed me so fucking much. They showed me parts of myself that I was not willing to face or wanting to face or wanting to deal with, And then I had some encounters that fucking was like, lit the fire up under me, right? That encouraged me, that gave me that confidence. It was like my cheerleader, or hype man as they call it. So it's interesting when you just reflect on the many different people that you come across, no matter how long or short they stay, and the impact that they may have had on you. And then, do you ever think about the impact that you have on others? The way that you're showing up, do you ever think how you're impacting others? I wonder that sometimes. And I think back to when I used to write down as one of my, affirmations or manifestations. Like, I used to always write how I wanted to be an inspiration to people. I remember one time I wrote, I'm inspiring millions of people. That was one of my affirmations I would write down. And at that point, I don't think I was really super active on the medias, but it was just something that I desired. Like, I just want to be an inspiration, even if it's only to one person. Like, I just want to inspire somebody out in the world, inspire somebody to love themselves, to just be great, to hold on, to keep going, to not give up, to see the beauty in life, to have fun, to play, to tap into their inner child, to love, to open their heart, to frolic. Like, I just want to inspire somebody to be fucking free, to let go of the labels and the attachments and the obligations and the titles and all the shit that's fucking weighing them down. Like, I just want to be that light that lights their torch or their candles so they can continue to light other people's candles as well, right? That ricochet of kindness, passing a little bit of hope on. Like, I just always wanted to be that inspiration that when people think about me, they're like, man, I remember Cosmic, she inspired me, right? And doing this podcast has been so dope because I remember when I first started talking about it and just my story and just sharing it, I inspired quite a few people to start their own. It was like a domino effect, and it was so fucking beautiful. And I was like, oh my God, like, I didn't know me finally doing my podcast was gonna be inspiration to others to finally go ahead and step out and do theirs too. And it's so dope, right? But when I think back to when I was writing that down, and I see now, like, when I hear people tell me, like, keep doing what you're doing, you've inspired me, man, it's just like this feeling of gratitude. It really is. You know, I've had people tell me, you inspire me to love myself. I think that's my favorite one, honestly. Like, just hearing that, like, yes. Because I think back to when I didn't love me, and I know how that affected my life. So when people tell me, like, you inspired me to love me, to start my self-love journey, oh my God, like, that is the most beautiful thing ever. And I remember somebody telling me I inspired them to do a big chop, like to finally go natural, right? And she was like, I've been watching you for a while and I finally did it. She said, but right now I'm not comfortable going out the house with my hair so short, you know? And I told her it may take time, but that was a part of growth, you know? That was a part of the self-love, and it may take time to adjust. And I remember one day she inboxed me and she was like, I went outside today and I didn't care. I didn't give any fucks and my hair was short and I just let it be free. And it's because of you, your inspiration. And I was like, yes. When I tell you, I celebrated on the inside for her. Like, man, that was amazing. You know, it's things like that. I have people tell me, like, you inspire me to be naked, right? And hey, if that's mean they're walking around free with their clothes off and feeling comfortable, I'm here for it. But I really think it meant, like, to just bare their soul, you know, to be free, to be open, to be out there. And I'm just like, man, manifestation successful. Like, I remember writing this down, and I'm hearing now from multiple people, like, how I inspire them. And I'm seeing it also written because people type in my comments, whether it's on whatever media channel it's on, right? And it's like, wow. But I'm still going, though, because I still have, you know, the one that said I aspire to inspire millions of people. I don't think I've reached the millions yet, you know? And I feel like my podcast may be one of the ways that I do. And I'm here for it. Like, the day that I hit 1 million plays or downloads, like, come on, like, what? Oh, by the way, we did hit 1,200. So thank you. I love y'all. Thanks for tuning in, of course. So, yeah, like, it's just been a beautiful experience. Even when I think back on my own growth, when I become the observer of my own life and I just observe me, being me, it's like, wow, you know. And I appreciate everybody that's come into my life and inspired me too, because believe it or not, those of you that hit me up and be like, oh, Cosmic, you inspired me, like, that's inspiration to me. Like, just hearing that is inspiration to me. It's not something that I take and become, you know, big-headed about, or my ego get all blown. Not like, nah, it's like, yo, they inspire me to keep going. Like, yeah. Like, this is fucking beautiful. I want to inspire more people, you know? I just had this flash of myself being a sunflower. Sunflowers are my favorite flower, by the way. And I found out recently, and this is a little off topic, but I don't care. I found out recently that sunflowers represent standing tall in adversity. And that really touched me because of the fact that it is one of my favorite flowers. And it was one of the reasons I wanted to make it the cover of my podcast. If you're new here, this wasn't the original logo for my podcast. I switched it over to the sunflower theme, and I'm so happy with it. And it's like, man, when I found out that it, you know, talks about standing tall through adversity, it meant a lot to me, especially what I experienced over this past year. And I may dive deep into that one day with y'all, because I haven't really told y'all the whole story of what 2023 was like for me. So one day, you know, I'll get there. I'll bear the nakedness eventually. But anyway, I was just like, man, I never knew sunflowers was like all this dopeness. So it makes me even happier now that that's what my logo is representing: the joy, the warmth, like the having that resilience, right? That strength to bounce back, to stand tall, and just having the sun love on you, right? To be that beacon of light to people. Yeah. Just taking this all in. Like, I'm taking in what I'm saying to myself. Like, I'm just, I don't know, these words are loving on me right now as I speak to y'all. Well, I think I'm complete. I'm feeling pretty good about what I said so far, and just trying to keep up with it all, and just allowing my words to just flow in this moment. But yeah, however you feel about soulmates, whether you feel it's just the one or you feel there's multiple, embrace them. Embrace them because they're there for a reason. And love people, I would say, freely. Allow them to come and go. Understand that not everybody is here to stay for forever. Not everybody is going to be your forever person. And I would say be mindful of how you go into relationships, because sometimes when you set that mindset of, oh, this is my forever person, you disappoint yourself so bad, and it hurts that much worse if you encounter a heartache, right? And so it's going into a relationship from a place of, I would say, just freely loving. And it's like, okay, I love this person, or I want to get to know this person better, or I want to build with this person, but I'm not going to attach anything to the outcome. I'm not going to set all these expectations. I'm just going to love them freely. I'm going to let them be, and I'm going to be me. And we're going to be each other individually as we come together as a team, allowing growth, allowing expansion together, but also individually, and understanding that nobody stays the same throughout a relationship. Your partner, your person may change like 500 times while y'all together, and that's okay because people grow. So also giving space and allowing them to grow. But knowing that if they are not there forever, that's okay. And being okay with releasing. And releasing without bitterness. Letting go with love. I release you with love. And understanding that they were only there for that time. But if you live in the present and you cherish those moments, you will be so much more in a place of gratitude if it does come down to that person being need to let go. It's just a different perspective. I feel like oftentimes we get into relationships and we have this sense of possessiveness, like this is mine, you're not going nowhere, you here forever kind of vibe, right? Especially if you're not married. And so it's like anything can happen. And it's not to approach it from a place of negativity. It's the understanding that you never know who's truly here for years or who just may be coming for a few months. They may be that person that's going to come and smack your ass awake, right? That's going to tear your heart open. That's going to pour salt on your wounds. They may be that person that's going to come and cheer you on or light your candle for a little bit, and then it's time for them to go. But you have to be okay with letting go. Or you hold yourself back and you miss out on that beautiful lesson and that beautiful blessing. That is all that I'm going to express in this moment. I love y'all. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for existing. Thank you for being here. Thank you for 1,200 plays, listens, downloads. I love y'all. Oh man, this has been beautiful. I look forward to hitting 1,500 and then hitting that 2,000. And one day I'll be telling y'all like, we made it to 10,000. We made it to 20,000. Y'all, we at 50,000. Like, I look forward to those days. I look forward to the now too, but I definitely I really look forward to those days. The day that my podcast truly just explodes and expands and takes off, man, I look forward to that. Wow. Y'all, I'm really out here being listened to by hundreds of thousands of people, all over the motherfucking world. Well, I'm really listened to pretty much all over the world because I got people in Africa and I think Ireland and where else was it? Australia, and it's a variety of places. I'm gonna call them out one day. I'm gonna make an episode to where I literally just shout out everybody that has tuned in and the place that they're listening from, right? Y'all are anonymous. I don't have names, but it'll show, it'll show the state and maybe the city or the country that where people are tuning in from. And I'm going to show y'all some love one day. One of these episodes, definitely gonna love on y'all. And I'm at 32 states, so making my way to 50. Okay, so share to a friend, tell a friend to tell a friend. Hey, tune into Taste My Naked Truth podcast because she my favorite host, and you gonna love her too. You know what I'm saying? Let me go, y'all. I love y'all. And remember, life is as beautiful as you allow it to be. Self-love and perspective is key. Much love, y'all. Peace.